Guys, welcome to What's Barking Local here on the I Love Seville Network. This is going to be a fantastic program. Ginny, and Peggy, kind enough to join us on set here at I Love Seville in the Macklin building. We are going to spotlight the East Minster Dog Show. This dog show, near and dear to my heart. Like I said, I've been there 5 or 6 times. Family friendly, positive. I think dogs at their absolute finest, and in a very approachable environment where Central Virginia and the Commonwealth can really see and enjoy firsthand. This is one of the best shows in the country. How's that, ladies? One of the best shows in the country.
Well, yeah.
Let's go to the 2-shot and let's welcome Patty Boden to the show. And Patty, introduce who's sitting next to you before we go to the studio cam.
This is my pal, LG, Ginny Craven, daughter of Ginny Semmes. And you've been very instrumental in helping put the East Minster Dog Show together. And we're going to have some fun talking about it, that's for sure.
I can't wait to talk about it. We're going to put you in front of 250,000 people over 30 days. We're going to see attendance spike big time here at the Eastminster Dog Show. Before we get to it, let's catch up on the week that was at Animal Connection, which is Central Virginia's longest running, all-natural, best pet store.
Woohoo! Well, that's an introduction. I know. Whoopee.
I bring the energy.
Well, I just have to thank everybody for what we did yesterday. And yesterday was National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day, and we donated a portion of the proceeds from the entire day of sales to 4 different rescue groups, and the sales were just great, and there's going to be some very nice dogs and cats getting some funds that they need. And funds are going to the Charlottesville SPCA, Green Dogs Unleashed, Caring for Creatures, and the Nelson County SPCA. So that was really fun. That's done. We're, of course, getting ready for the East Minster Dog Show, which is going to be at the Keswick Horse Show in just a couple weeks. So we're assembling prizes and just getting prepared for that. I guess the event before that is going to be National Dog Moms Day. I mean, I don't have kids, so I used to always feel getting left, a little left out on Mother's Day. This National Dog Moms Day thing just kind of popped up on this day calendar, and so we celebrate it. Everybody's a dog mom, except for you. You're not a dog mom.
I'm a dog dad.
You're a dog dad, and we'll have Dog Dads Day. Yep. So we're going to have specials and gifts for the moms and just some fun things going on. Last year we did these fabulous cookies for everybody to take home. So, you're going to want to check our Facebook page and see what's coming up.
And one more thing. I'm so excited to announce this.
Oh.
New team member at Animal Connection.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Make sure you get into that mic.
Exactly.
This is big news.
Exactly. So we have added a second groomer. Her name's Malaya Short. She's got some great experience, and she's going to be working back there with Carol, our existing senior groomer, and we're going to be running a special to welcome her into the fold. So if you've never had your dog groomed at Animal Connection before and want to try it, this is a good way to get started. And if you book with Malaya during the next 2 weeks, you will receive a free de-shedding treatment and a paw scrub. Perfect for spring, get them all spruced up and shiny, and it's normally a $20 value, and you're going to get it free. But this is for new clients, for Malaya only.
I love it. Let's take that part about the new team member and turn it into a sizzle reel. And Ginny, I would like to do this. We're going to go to the studio cam and welcome Peggy, Ginny, and Ginny to the show. What I'd like from you is if you could pivot slightly over here and open your body up so this camera can catch you. You look beautiful, elegant, sophisticated.
And we're sitting up.
And we're sitting up.
We're taking nourishment.
There you go. We'll slide the mic to Ginny, and I want to ask you the who, what, when, where, why
You
of
got
the
it.
Eastminster Dog Show. The show is yours.
You got it. Well, Eastminster, this is our 35th anniversary, so I have accepted the mantle from these 2 lovely ladies, Peggy Augustus and my mother, Ginny Semmes, who started the show 35 years ago. So this year, it's just as much fun as it always is. It's free to participate. We do ask that donations be made to the SPCA. The SPCA will be there in force with dogs to adopt. They actually show the dogs in many of the rescue classes, well, many of the classes they show in all of them. Silly classes. This year we are not going to have the agility class because it was just kind of too much for beginners, and it sort of went on for ad infinitum. So we've replaced that with the best senior dog. So golden oldies, bring your golden oldies and show them at Eastminster. Then we also have musical chairs. We have the family class, which can be any combination of dogs in a family, people in a family, or any combination thereof. Also, Best Rescue, which is near and dear to all of our hearts who have rescued dogs.
We have a rescue here? Liza.
You do have Liza.
She's a sweetheart.
She is a sweetheart. And my dog, Bailey, is not going to be able to be there because he doesn't really like other dogs that much when he's on a leash. So.
Okay, my dog Leo can relate to that.
Yeah.
The only time Leo is mean is when he's on a leash.
Exactly. It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
It's so frustrating. You're getting some love right now, Ginny, and this is from Amber Rexrod.
Oh, yay!
She says, hi, Ginny. Hi.
Yay, Amber. Yay. Good.
She says hello. Amber says the Mosquito Squad family will be at the dog show showing support. I can't wait for the East Minster Dog Show. And I think on that note, we need to welcome Peggy and Ginny to the show. I'm going to throw this to you. You guys have carried the torch, carried the mantle, been the leaders of the show for so long. And Peggy, why don't we start with you? Put into perspective what the Eastminster Dog Show means to you.
Well, it means a lot, but she's the one that started it.
Love it.
I got in, I participated for a while, and then I decided it was easier to be one of the people running it, which it was very loosely run. Very. until LG took over, and she's getting very organized, but
makes us organized.
Yeah,
I love it.
And she tries to make us organized, which is not easy with two old broads.
I love it. Well, Ginny, let me throw it to you. Give us the you've seen those flip books that kind of tell a story, like they have somebody doing something. Give us the flip book when you're talking into the mic, and get real close to that mic for us. The flip book of the Eastminster Dog Show, the birth story.
The first time it started was because we had a timing problem with the horse show, and we didn't know what to do, so I offered to give a dog show for the neighborhood. Well, we had no idea that it was going to end up being quite so successful, but Peggy and I have worked hard on it. We bought all the trophies, and it cost us a ton, which we gave all to the SPCA, and we never have charged anybody anything. And we are very supportive of the SPCA. I was on the board for 15 years. And all my dogs have come from the SPCA, with the exception of my having a couple of real ones, too.
Some purebreds.
Some purebreds, yeah. Because my husband and I used to go to East Minster every year, and we'd always find something that we'd never seen before. So we raised otter hounds for a while, and that was very unsuccessful because PBGBs and otter hounds are known to be impossible.
Right. Super stubborn.
Well, I mean, they'd call me from Orange. I live in Sismont. They'd call me from Orange and say, Mrs. Semmes, we have your dogs again.
Oh, my gosh.
20 miles away.
Yeah.
20 miles away.
But anyway, the CA has been grateful to us. We've had a wonderful time working with them, and I'm very pleased to see that it has grown so. And Peggy and I are extremely grateful that my daughter, Ginny Craven, has taken it over from us.
Well, let me throw it to you. Some of the memories you have. Some of the fantastic memories of the show.
Well, showing, for one thing, was a lot of fun. And Boomer, who the championship trophy, Best in Show trophy, now is named after Boomer. Boomer loved dog shows, and he came to Eastminster once. That was after his successful plane trip to Saratoga in his private plane and limousine to pick him up to take him to the dog show at the Saratoga racetrack. He enjoyed that a lot. And
I wish we had that too. That we
Yeah,
could
grab
show
the
on
mic.
video.
Yeah, grab the mic.
I wish we had that we could show on video. I mean, the dog getting off a private plane on a red carpet at Saratoga.
It was hysterical. A friend of mine had just sold a horse for somebody and made a lot of money, and he said, "Oh, I'll hire a limousine to come pick the dog up." And I had my own plane at the time, which was very handy.
That must be handy.
Yeah, it was very handy, very handy. And so he flew up when the pilot came up to get me at Saratoga. I'd been up there for a couple of weeks. He brought the dog, and we did this whole thing with the dog getting off of the plane onto the red carpet and the big, long, white limousine picking him up and taking him to the dog show. But he came to the East Minster Dog Show, and he was just part of the group in the picture. We have a picture of, or did have, anyway, of the group, and so I decided to donate a trophy for the best in show in his name.
I love it.
And
I love it.
People get their name on the trophy.
Let's get a sizzle reel with those two answers of the East Minster Dog Show. Harris told her sizzle reels are highlights of the show, and both those answers right there, what it undoubtedly highlights so far of the program. I'm going to ask you to jump in, and then once you jump in, I'm going to throw this question to you, Ginny.
Okay.
How have you seen the dog show, the Eastminster Dog Show, evolve over your time being in the show? First, Patty, your thoughts on the conversation.
Wow, well, it's just a great part of history. I mean, the entire idea of the Keswick Hunt Club and their beautiful clubhouse, and it's now gone over some really extensive renovations, but there's just such a sense of history about the place to begin with. I mean, the hounds are there and the kennels, and relics of history past that are in the hunt club, and just the old horse show grounds. It's just a really nice country event. It goes on for I think 6 days now. But there's everything from ponies to hunters to jumpers, and there's vendors, and you got to go, if nothing else, to go have a Keswick iced tea and a Keswick burger.
Wait, what's a Keswick iced tea?
It's like an Arnold Palmer, but with cement in it, and it's just one of those old traditions that's just should always be preserved. And it's just nice. Every night at the horse show there is a different kind of entertainment, whether it's the Hunter Classic or fish fry or just whatever it is. And the Eastminster Dog Show has been the Wednesday night entertainment after the show. I've been doing this since 2011, the best I can remember, but it's just a great family night with dogs. I mean, and what's more fun than that?
I love dogs.
Right?
We all love dogs. We all have that in common. We
Right.
love dogs. Ginny, I got the question for you. How have you seen the show evolve in your lifetime, and also since your involvement?
Well, I mean, in my lifetime, I mean, I was not living here from in the beginning of the dog show. I was gone for over 30 years. So then when I came back, I maybe went to it a few times when I was here visiting. I lived out of state. And so I think the best way that it's evolved is that it hasn't really. It's bigger, but it's still the same really wonderful small town spirit. It's what Charlottesville is all about. It's what Keswick is all about. It's like a family event that's just silly and just lots and lots of fun.
It's, I think, steeped in tradition and steeped in approachability and fun and family and positive energy and the championing and celebration of dogs, which we all love. I truly love this event. Go to this event with my family. I mean, it's just an amazing experience. We have someone asking a question, and this question's coming in from Richmond. My dog and I won't be able to make it, but I would love to support the cause. Where and how can I do this? A very good question. Who wants to take that question?
I'll be happy to.
Okay. Get close to that mic for us and talk to us.
Well, we support the SPCA, and although we don't ask any entrance fee, we pass the hat, and we always get somebody who is very good at, kind of pressing the money out of the people.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
I bet you were good at it.
Yeah, I was. No. With hunt club members particularly.
I'd be good at that.
But it's Charlottesville, Albemarle, SPCA, and you could get the address online any place, and we have a good website, and we're very happy that you in Richmond will will be supporting us, and we're very sorry you're going to miss the show this year.
You know what I love about the show?
CASPCA.org.
CASPCA.org, that's
Yeah.
right. Angie Gunner, a good friend of this show.
Yeah.
Angie Gunner's come on the program. Their marketing directors come on the program. We love this, the SPCA. Chelsea has come on the show. One of the things that I truly love about it, and let me throw this to you, Jeannie, is I love, and Peggy as well, I love the fact that it's like this melting pot of folks from like every different background, and like this melting pot of like folks from different communities.
Yeah.
Like someone from Richmond.
Yeah.
We have folks from Crozet watching, folks in Northern Virginia and DC, and it's because you draw them, you magnetize them to Keswick for the celebration of canines.
Yeah.
Put that in perspective and what that means to you, both you guys. Same question to both you guys. Would you like to go first, Peggy?
No. Well, that's the essence of the dog show. It's just people from all over, and doesn't make any difference because the dogs are mostly mutts. I mean, there are purebred dogs too. They do.
American
Well,
classics.
my dogs don't mind being called mutts. They're all mutts.
American classics.
Yeah, American classics. But everybody just is kind of like a big family once they get there.
It really is.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me throw the same question to you. The melting pot of a bunch of different people, animal lovers across the board.
That's how it started, and it has continued to be that way. And we have friends and neighbors who have offered to help. And we've had wonderful experiences at the dog show, where one year in the costume class, a great friend of ours and supporter of the show came as Bo Peep.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she had her dogs, I think there were 5 of them, and she put sheepskins all over their backs and had her crook. And
I think I was there for that show.
so
Yeah.
it's just a friendly, silly, wonderful time that we have, and I'm so glad that we started it, and we have appreciated all the continued support, and we look forward to a bright, sunny day.
Do you remember who that was?
Sally Wheeler.
Sally Wheeler.
Yeah. And I remember the one time when we had, how many corgis were in that ring?
Oh, yeah.
And it was the Queen Elizabeth and all the corgis.
And Jimmy
Yes,
Lee,
and some
when
of them
he-
should have been eliminated because they weren't neutered.
Yeah.
They're supposed to.
Peggy, you
A
got
couple-
some sass to you. I
A couple,
like it.
a couple of our local friends have cheated with dogs that weren't spayed or neutered. And one of them came with puppies, so you knew she wasn't.
Always spay and neuter your dogs. Please.
right.
Yeah, if
Yes.
you're coming to the SPCA
And
event,
there's
absolutely.
and there's
Did you
that's
see-
one of the rules. That's one of the few rules of the dog show is that all dogs are supposed to be on leases and supposed to be spayed or neutered.
And well behaved.
Yeah.
But
Right.
our rules
Well,
are loosely followed.
That's because it's about having fun.
Yeah.
That's right.
And if they have a donation in their hand,
Yeah, the donation's big enough.
Ginny, what was the question that you were just about to ask? You were about to say, did you see something?
Oh, Jimmy Lee, when he came, and
with a goat.
in the family class,
oh my gosh.
he had a couple of chickens, and he had goats, and he had I don't know how many dogs and cats. And we said, Jimmy, this is a dog show, but
He says his
it was
family.
very funny. But that was the end. That we had to restrict it to dogs only.
We did.
I think that was a good
Are
decision.
you sure we did that?
Yeah.
I think that was a good move.
Well, yeah, that's kind of subjective. I remember riding in a Farmington horse show one time, and they had a family class, and I didn't have any family that would ever go to a horse show. So that old Chesapeake that I had, he was my family, and I rode rode my horse with him in the family class, and we took home a trophy that day, and that was so. He was my family, you know.
That's what it's
That's,
all
that's,
about.
that's right.
Let me throw this to Ginny. What are some of your favorite memories? Give me a first-hand story of one of your favorite memories of the East Minster Dog Show.
Gosh, it's so hard to say. I love the costume class. I really love the costume class. And I loved Queen Elizabeth with all of her corgis.
I was there for that one.
Yeah.
Just really, really great. But, you know, I love to see the little kids that try so hard. I mean, sometimes the dogs are as big as the kids, and they try so hard and they take it so seriously. And so that's always a great thing to see at the show. There are just so many good memories. And now for the last few years, the SPCA does bring dogs to adopt, which I think is wonderful also. So I know last year a couple of the dogs got adopted. One of them I wanted so badly, I forget. Remember that big hound? Oh my gosh, he was so cute. But he did get adopted after the show, so I like to think that we're, you know, showcasing their big adoptees. So
You know what else is crazy? Is that musical chairs.
Music-
Those
Yeah.
kids
Oh,
are cutthroat. I mean, they are in
The
it
grown-ups are the worst.
Yeah.
The grown-ups.
Grown-ups are the worst.
They are. I mean, they knock the kids out of the way to sit in a chair. It's
I think, Ginny,
disgraceful.
you described it one year on a brochure as mischievous mayhem.
Yeah.
And that, oh man, are you right?
Peggy, I could see you knocking out some of those kids out of a chair to win that
No,
musical chairs competition. You would never do that?
Maybe.
Maybe. I knew you were going to say that. Oh, man. I think we have another question coming in. This one's coming in from Crozet. I know it may be too late for this year, but how would I go about volunteering to help out with the East Minster Dog Show? Thank you for taking my question. You want to answer that one?
Oh, yes. Please come volunteer. It's never too late. So I'm going to give you my email address.
Okay.
So please email me and give me your information,
Okay.
and we're happy to have you. Volunteers should show up on Wednesday, May 15th, which is the date of the show, so 2 weeks from today. Volunteers should get there between 5 and 5:30. Registration opens at 5:30, so we'd prefer that you're there at least a few minutes before. It's not really terribly serious work, so, but we'd love to have you. My email address is Gin, Gin, like the liquor.
Nice.
My last name, Craven, Craven @gmail.
Is that your favorite liquor?
No,
What's your favorite?
tequila.
Tequila. Nice. You got a girl that likes to have some fun on
Actually,
the show.
mezcal, but it's hard to find
hard to
mezcal
find good
here.
mezcal in
It's really
Charlottesville.
hard to find it
Yeah,
here.
I like mezcal too as
And
well.
I mean, California, it's on the grocery store shelves. It's-
Not in Charlottesville.
Yeah, no, definitely
And
not.
as a result, I'm a bourbon guy. I have to go with the bourbon all the way. We got a lot of folks that are watching right now. Let's give them some love. Let's give some love to Jonathan Galasso, to Grace, to Dan Barnes, Michael Jameson, to Rick Henderson, to Meg Taylor, Deborah Hyman, Chris and John Gilmore, Jeremy Stanwyck. Give the show a like and a feed. We have folks watching from Richmond to Crozet, across Charlottesville into Northern Virginia and Southwestern Virginia right now. So folks really interested. Robert Gray, Beth O'Connor, Denise Hurst Ramey is watching right now. The real estate agent extraordinaire, Marina Ringstrom, watching right now as well. Give the show a like and a share. Let me throw this to you guys. And you know what? Why don't I start with Ginny for this one? Okay, you started it. You started this event, okay? Where would you like to see the event go and continue to evolve? And I'm talking kind of like a legacy type question for the event.
I would hope that it could continue very much the way it was started, and we hope that it will be supported. And I know that thanks to my daughter, she and the SPCA have a very, very good working agreement, and I think that our advertising and everything has been well handled, and I think that it will go on just because it is about family and friends and community and all of us who all of us who are wild about dogs.
I love it. Donna Lamb, thank you for watching. Let me throw the same question to you, Peggy. How would you like to see the event evolve, the legacy of the event?
Well, I think it just should stay pretty much the way it is. It doesn't need to evolve a whole lot beyond that. It wouldn't be practical, for one thing, with the location and all, to have it get huge like the American Rescue Dog
Or like Dog Fest.
thing, the show that's on I can't remember the channel, but that's wonderful. But it's big and it's very organized, and it's not just family and fun.
Love it.
You
What
know,
do you think, Patty?
you know what else is so cool is a lot of the horse show people, you know, they're families. I mean, they're people that are my age and now their kids are showing, and then, you know, it just goes on and on. You know, the families, you know, always want to bring the kids on with the ponies, and to have them get excited about, yeah, we're going to go to this show, and then they get their kids involved, and just the way it passes on from these generations. It's really neat to see. And barn dogs are every shape, size, color you could ever think of. And because it's the Wednesday entertainment, everybody's bringing their dogs. I mean, I can remember years back, well, this is a long time ago, but I remember in my 20s, I was a horse show groom, and I was a braider on the circuit. And, we used to always come to Keswick because it was just so fun and just a great setup. And just to see these things of tradition just carry on is really nice.
I love it. I love it. Let me ask you guys this question, personal question here. And Ginny, we'll start with you. What are some of your favorite things to do? How do you pass your time in Central Virginia and, with hobbies, passions, and interests? And I'll throw the same question to you ladies as well.
Okay, well, any opportunity I have to spend with my sweet dog, whose name is Bailey.
Okay.
I spend a lot of time out walking, and it's very interesting for me, actually. This might be a long answer. That
I like long answers.
I was gone for 37 years,
okay.
and I came back, and I just built a house about a year ago right next to my mom on the same property, which is right next to where I grew up. This actually makes me kind of choked up because I'm walking the same places that I've walked for, 50 years. So it's really amazing to see the same beautiful place that it's always been, but with so many enhancements. There were no vineyards or breweries, or Castle Hill Cidery is so beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And that's right in my neck of the woods.
I almost got married there.
Really?
Yeah. I was one of the short lists, one of 3.
It's so pretty there. So, I spend a lot of time doing that. I'm spending time gardening now because I have just built this house, so it's a bit of a construction site still. So I'm actually going to go home this afternoon and plant trees.
All right.
Nice. Look at that bicep there.
I
see it. I like it.
I have one.
Very impressive.
I'm grateful at my tender age that I can still do that. So, but I love the local music scene. I love I'm really involved with a group of nonprofits that actually with a networking group that supports the American Cancer Society. And I just was a scorekeeper at Wordplay, which was so cool.
Right.
That was such a great event that supports literacy volunteers. So I'm trying to kind of get out more and do some of the local stuff. And not be such a shut-in with my dog in Keswick.
That was a great answer. And you shouldn't be a shut-in. You have a fantastic personality, and you have a zest for life. Come on. Let me throw this to you, Peggy. Your hobbies, your passions, your interests, what you love about living in the community.
Well, I used to be involved with horses, and I still am, but in a different way. At one time I showed horses a lot, and then I evolved into racing and breeding race horses. And then when one of them fell on me with a concrete ledge underneath me, that sort of stopped my riding. And now it's caught up with me where I can't do a lot of the things I used to do. But I do grow orchids, and so I've got a lot of orchids, not just a few. I've got a couple of greenhouses full of them.
They're pretty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So growing orchids, one of your passions. What else do you like? Do you like the food scene? Do you get a chance to enjoy the restaurants?
Not so much because it's just a hassle to go to town.
Yeah.
And my friends are less involved in wanting to go to town. So we go to the. I'm more of a night owl than a lot of my friends are.
There you go.
Yeah.
She likes to burn the midnight oil.
I like dinner time and they like lunch. So.
Okay. Same question for you, Ginny. What do you like to do?
Well, due to my old age, unfortunately, I've had to give up a lot of my activities. But I was, as I just said, on the board of the SPCA for years, followed all dog things forever. And I also was instrumental in helping get the Emily Kerr Cancer Center started. And I have volunteered there a couple of times a year, a couple of times a week since we started it. And that's doing very well. We're fortunate about that. I stay home with my dogs a lot. I cook for them. I do everything for them. There's nothing in my mind such as a bad dog, which my daughter does not agree with sometimes. I have 2 rescues from the SPCA, Harriet and Stanley.
Harriet and Stanley.
Harriet and Stanley.
I love those names.
And
Harriet.
I got Harriet about 10 years ago, and when a couple of my other dogs died, I took Harriet out to the SPCA to pick out a friend. And she brought home a friend that is unequaled, but fun. And I love my dogs. Love Charlottesville. Best thing we ever did was move here.
Yeah.
So
I love that answer. Let's sizzle reel that answer. I have a Max and a Leo. You have a Harriet and a Stanley. You had an Ernie.
I had an Ernie Fergus and Snowflake.
And you have a...
I have Minnie Pearl.
Minnie Pearl.
And I have Priscilla, who came from the SPCA here. All of them are rescues. But then I've got Monty, whose real name is Monty Healer. Because,
like Monty Python?
Like Monty Healer.
Okay.
Because I picked him up on the road outside of Montpelier on Chicken Mountain Road when somebody had thrown him out after the races. And I've pretty much regretted that every day, but because he doesn't like to be house trained too much.
He's adorable.
But you keep him around.
He's adorable, but he's horrible.
He's adorable, but he's horrible.
And then I've got Nellie, who's sort of...
Is that 5 dogs?
4.
You have 4
then
dogs.
Nellie's into doggy dementia.
Yeah, I had
So
Lucy
that's
who's in doggy dementia.
That's sad.
Yeah,
That's sad.
gosh. And you have a Bailey.
Yeah, he came with that name.
Yeah, I like the name.
Yeah, I love the dog, hate the name.
Oh my gosh, I like
You can
Bailey.
rename dogs easily, though.
But, I didn't change his name back then, so. But,
Well, now Bailey's a good name.
yeah, and talk about someone who's happy to be in Charlottesville. He's happier than anyone.
Yeah?
Because I rescued him from the Miami SPCA, so
Okay.
all he ever knew was concrete and sidewalks and, small areas.
The concrete jungle.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, what's not to like?
Now the world's his oyster in Keswick.
Oh my gosh, chasing deer, just like being outside surveying his manse.
I love it.
He loves
I
it.
love it. Before we close, we're 40 minutes in. We filled 40 minutes. It's felt like 4 minutes. You guys have done so well.
But you promised us 30.
I know. we went extra because you were so good. Before we close, let's get the who, what, when, where, why of the dog show one more time. Okay, do you want to do that for us, the East Minster Dog Show? The who, what, when, where, why? Okay.
All right.
You can do it, and then we'll close with Patty.
Okay, so who, what, when, where, why?
Yeah. One more time for the people watching now.
Who is everybody, all dogs, all dog lovers, everybody that wants to come to the show?
Okay.
And even people without dogs that just want to watch. The concessions, as Patty has noted, are great.
They are great.
So come for dinner. The registration opens at 5:30 on Wednesday, May 15th, so 2 weeks from today, and the show starts at 6:30.
Okay.
So, but think of your costumes. Bring dogs, bring costumes for your dogs.
Right.
And no dog, people say, does my dog need to know tricks? Do they need to have any special traits to be able to participate in this very important dog show? No.
No.
And the answer is...
List the classes again.
Okay, I will list the classes again. So there's musical chairs.
Yes.
Now this year, for the first time, Golden Oldies, so best senior dog.
Okay.
Family class, which can be family, dog family, or any combination thereof. Best rescue, and then finally best in show. Did I miss anything?
And Best Rescue was
we have a
named
lookalike this year?
No.
Oh, no.
for my dog Russell Semmes, who was the first dog that I ever got from the SPCA, who
Oh, he was wonderful.
ended up weighing 125 pounds, and
That's a big boy.
but a neighborhood love.
I'm going to put, ladies, introduce what we're about to run on set. Go to Studio Cam and then one shot out of me, Harris. Let's run it on set. Judah Wickower. This is one of our
This
producers,
is amazing.
Judah Wickower.
Right. This is an amazing piece of artwork.
What do we have right here? Who's gonna take this right here?
Peggy is.
Yeah.
No, but it's such an amazing piece of artwork. I can't remember the name of the artist, but he's very famous. And this was the Boomer. This was bought for Best in Show, and all the winners are on brass plaques around the frame. So
I'm working on my
there's
muscles right here. This is not light.
there's some empty brass plaques there, just waiting for this year's
For
Best in Show.
2019?
Yeah,
Right.
for 2019
How's it
Best
look
in
on
Show.
camera over there, fellas? Does it look good?
And it
Not
hangs has a dedicated wall in the new Hunt Club, the new Keswick Hunt Club. It's
Right.
got a great spot and
How's the Hunt
much
Club
of it-
looking?
It looks great.
Fabulous.
It's fabulous. They
How's
did
the club
unbelievable
looking?
job.
You know, Keswick Halls was a client of ours for a long period of time here.
Well, Keswick
Since the
Hall is
renovation, how's the club looking?
a disaster zone.
Yeah, so it's got a long way to go.
The
It's got-
club.
The hall,
The
the
hall.
club's open.
Right,
But the hall is
Got a lot of renovation
left. Still, I don't think they're going to be. They should have had the people that did this. They did it and did the Hunt Club.
Because they were already supposed to be done.
The Hunt Club started at the end of June, and they had the Hunt Ball there in March, and it looks fabulous. It looks like it did, only it's just a little bit cleaner, and there's air conditioning and heat, which they never had before.
I love it. I'll pass this to you, Judah, and then
Right. And one thing, I mean, there are great prizes for every class. There's a wonderful first, second, third prize and gift certificates for all the class winners. There's a trophy for best rescue, right?
Yes.
And then isn't there a take-home trophy for best in show for the winner? There's a bat. Yeah,
Well,
right.
yeah,
But they take home a really nice gift bag too. So there's lots of loot to win.
I love it. I love it. We will see you at the show.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
thoroughly-
we name the sponsors too. We have not only have the Patty's
Yeah, Animal Connection.
Animal Connection.
Yeah.
But there's Keswick Life
Yeah.
and
Print
there,
source.
and what's the other one that you
Print
got this
source.
year?
Print source.
Right.
Yeah.
Print Source. I don't know that.
Print source kindly printed our posters this year. So,
Awesome.
And did the design, so that's really nice. Oh, and before I forget to say this, we also have a really talented local photographer whose name is Adrienne Eichner.
Okay.
And she has a new studio over at Stonefield, but she's bringing like a whole portable setup with lights and a backdrop, et cetera. So she's going to do pet portraits for $20 each and donate $10 of that to the SPCA. So
Love it.
really, she's a great photographer, so we're really happy to have her.
Next time, you should totally reach out to us at I Love Seville, and we'll be happily involved with your event. Because I've gone there so many times as a participant and spectator. I know how much of a treasure this is for the Charlottesville and Central Virginia community. And it embodies what we stand for at I Love Seville, which is positivity and the best of Charlottesville and Central Virginia. Patty, your thoughts, some final remarks.
Well, I'm going to encourage everybody to get their costumes ready and mark it on your calendar and just be there. You'll have so much fun. You'll be so glad you came.
Yeah, I totally agree, guys. We will spotlight this show on two places. We'll spotlight it on Animal Connections website and Animal Connections Facebook page. They have a fantastic tab on the menu bar where all the shows are archived. We will also spotlight it on iloveseville.com and syndicate the show across our network for the next 30 days. I think this dog show is just one of the many aspects I love about living in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Exactly.
Love the food, love the music, love the outdoors, love the University of Virginia, love the people, love the history, love the dog show. For Jeannie, for Peggy, for Patty, I'm Jerry Miller, and it's What's Barking Local, Wednesdays at 3 o'clock on the I Love Seville Network. Good work,
right.
ladies.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah?
Whoopee!
Yeah, whoopee.
Whoopee, Harris. We got one more thing to do, Judah. Let's get the photo for the package. This is the photo that shows up when people watch the show. Before we quit the show, let's see our photo.